Architectural Builder's Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
AB Supply, this is Corey. How may I help you?
It's Richard.
Hey, Richard.
Let's talk about the undercut question.
Yes.
So the question is, you've got some doors, and the question is, the factory is asking you what undercut you want. And so the question ultimately is, should I ask the client regarding the undercut? The answer to that is almost always absolutely yes. It's always a good idea to get clarification. But when it comes to undercut is the dimension from the bottom of the door to the bottom of the jamb. It's 99.99999% of the time 3/4 inch. It always is. That is the standard. That's like saying steering wheels are round. It's the standard. They're not all round, okay? But it's
right.
It's like that. It's okay. You could also argue that it would be a question that would fall below the threshold of asking because it is absolutely standard. In instances like this, a client would say, "Oh, and by the way, I need a special undercut because I have a flooring condition." So you are not. I would not consider it falling short of doing the proper job and not asking the client to confirm the undercut, but because undercut is always 3/4 inch, unless it's otherwise specified. That's where 83 1/8 comes in. That's where 95 1/8 comes in. That's where 79 1/8 comes in. That eighth is 7/8 different. There's an eighth at the top between the underside of the header and the top of the door, and the rest is, well, you guessed it, 3/4.
Oh.
It always is.
Oh.
That's where
cool.
that comes from.
Thank you. This is a good understanding. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I would tell the manufacturer we want manufacturer standard undercut, which we understand to be 3/4 inch. Please proceed.
Okay.
So when you have undercut, you've got to think about the jamb leg and the underside of the door. That's almost always 3/4. And in exterior applications, it oftentimes is really nice to have a smaller undercut because that will allow you to have a smaller threshold, which gives you less of something to step over when you enter. So it's nice to have a shorter threshold, which means you got to run your door longer. So when you see a 1/2 inch undercut, yeah, that tells me that they're dealing with like a 1/4 inch tall threshold rather than a 1/2 inch tall threshold. Smaller threshold, easier to walk over. But then the term undercut is different than clearance. Clearance is undercut less whatever you have put underneath the door. So if you've got a 3/4 undercut, you've got a concrete opening, the frame has gone in, and the door is hung in the frame and nothing else has been done. If you put a tape measure from the bottom of the door to the top of the concrete sill, it's 3/4 inch. When you put a threshold underneath the door that's 1/2 inch, your clearance is what's left over. It's 1/4 inch.
Okay.
So the term undercut is really important to understand, and it is absolute. And then the term clearance is really important to understand and is absolute. So the answer is, you tell the manufacturer, please use manufacturer standard. We understand that to be 3/4 inch. Thank you very much. You're good.
Perfect.
However, moving forward, when you're thinking about door heights, actual door height of 83 1/8 in this case is what this door will be. It's a 7/0. The 7/0 is the nominal size. It happens to also be if you measured from the bottom of the jamb to the underside of the header. It's the space in which the door has to fit. The actual size is that pre-fit allowance. 1/8 at the top, 3/4 at the bottom, 1/8 inch on either side for the lock side and the hinge side. So that door is going to measure 35 3/4 by 83 1/8, most likely in terms of the width, but absolutely in the height. So you're really good. You're okay to not clarify that, but moving forward, when you have these conversations, you yeah, by all means, confirm that it's a standard undercut. But when you see the 1/8 inch, you know it's a 3/4 undercut. But when someone tells you that they've got an 83 1/4, yeah, you should explore that. You can explore it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All these numbers and measurements that I've seen are clicking now, because like usually it's 3070, all the even numbers, but that's just the opening, and now all those other measurements, they're all clicking now. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, the
cool.
3070 is the nominal. That's the opening size, like you said. But it's the old thing of 10 pounds of sausage will not fit in a 10-pound bag. You need a slightly larger bag. The slightly larger bag is the nominal size. The 10 pounds of sausage is the actual. Put your tape measure on the door. Tell me what it says. That's the actual size. Meaning actual, the word actual in capital letters. The actual size.
Right. Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate it.
Bye. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.